We got to bring that energy.
We probably produce more data, as opposed to information, per day than was ever produced in the entire history of mankind prior to the introduction of computers. The power to collect data in detailed formats about all aspects of your lives presents both an opportunity and a threat. It's the opportunity in the sense that if we understand things like what causes cancer and where and those sorts of things, getting medical data from GPs and working out the incidences, that's a really good thing. Really bad thing is that if you collect that personal data, then governments are able to track your every movement and to work out exactly how you live your life. And the question is, what is the purpose of doing that?
Ideally, you'd like, to have a better world. I mean, you should not just be making decisions or trusting the politician to make the right decisions. You should be driven by the data. Do we need that tunnel? Do we need that hospital? Do we need that train station? Why?
Information is power. We know that if we're all informed equally, we all feel empowered. So I think you can participate with your citizenry, with your communities, at a much more even level if you all have the same information that you're making sense of and taking your own insight from.
And so the transparency of how information is collected and used to make decisions for the benefit of us all is something that I think many people are interested in.
There are, in any given domain, across society, in any given industry, thousands and thousands of different information systems. And for most things that we do, most decisions we're looking for, most analysis, we need to be able to pull data from lots of different places.
Some data sets are massive by nature. Satellite data sets, time series data sets that are collected by sensors, might be air quality or groundwater levels or things like that. There are some data sets like Twitter or Facebook social data sets that may be very large as well. But a lot of data sets just collected, like soil data, for example, might only be collected once a year in the paddock by the farmer, but terribly important data. And if you marry that by all the farmers in Australia and all the paddocks and all the data that's being collected, and if you could put all that together, now that would be a big data set. But it's actually made up of small pieces of data, that are being collected.
So it's a matter of extracting knowledge and information from the raw pieces that you have that allow you to make, if you like, produce other data which happens to be informative. It tells you something, it's meaningful, rather than just a number about a certain thing at a certain time in a certain place.
From one end of Australia to the other, people are engaged in a multitude of activities which have one thing in common. They are all made easier, faster, or less costly through the use of computers.
How do you actually value data? How do you put a value on data? Very difficult to explain to politicians and government departments why you need to collect data, because the value case for doing that is very difficult. We collect all this data, but what are people doing with it? Show me what people are doing with it. Well, we can't show that so easily because the data may not be used for another 20, 50, 100 years, at which time it may be the most valuable data set.
Peace, family, peace, family, peace, family, peace. This your boy Red Dad, Blue Dad, a.k.a. Financial Freedom Fighter, a.k.a. Time Clock Smash. Peace, family, peace. Peace to all the communities. Peace to my Jasmine community, baby. I told you, your boy Red Dad, Blue Dad, gotcha. And I got to bring this energy, family. Today, I'm going to be dropping some info on this Jasmine Coin update. Today, we just going to simply stupid go over what is big data democracy. That's what Jasmine Coin claimed to be. That's what they claim to be taking mainstream about. That's what they screaming about. One of their main things that they're going to do is be the data democracy. How could they say so much things? How could they speak so big on that? Your boy Red Dad, Blue Dad want to talk about it a little bit more. Let's see, can I show they receipts on that, baby? We finna go into it. But before I go into this, I got to give my disclosure, my disclaimer, family. I'm not a financial advisor, nor investment advisor. I'm just a drill sergeant here in this wealth war, and I got to bring that energy, family. I talk about crypto facts, and half truth is up to you to decide what is true to you. So we finna go into this Jasmine Coin update, man, and we're gonna talk about this big data democracy. Let's see, can your boy Red Dad, Blue Dad show Jasmine Coin receipts? Let's rock. So family, my thing is I want to know how much data is worth worldwide. Okay, according to Google, it say the big data and business analyst market is valued at 169 billion US dollars in 2018, expected to grow to 274 billion US dollars by 2022. Family, your boy Jasmine Coin wants to get some of that. They wants to get some of that. Jasmine Coin wants to get some of that. I don't know if I should call Jasmine a he or a she, but you know what, I'm gonna call it the boy Jasmine Coin. It could be a boy. So here it is, family. We got to understand. Now, big data. I'm going to give you guys some big data that I can think of on the top of my head. Stock market use big data. Stock market has changed. Your social evias, your metaverse uses big data, family. A whole lot of data. You're going to be stuck in the cloud looking around. Like when what them little things came out, family, the little Pikachus, not the Pikachus, when they had you going out in traffic. I forgot. It's on the top of my brain. You got to hear the little poke. What is the Pokemon? I don't know what it was. You had to go catch the little characters. That's gonna be that on steroids, family. That was a test run of metaverse with that little game. It's gonna come to my head before I finish it. I hope it do. But if somebody leave in the comments what game I'm talking about, where you had to catch them little characters, man. People was out in the road. I never played it, but people was waiting in the road grabbing them, man. Getting hit by cars when it first came out. The metaverse is going to be on steroids, family. And it's going to be on steroids. Trust me. So everything wants data. Even your jet engines, your car wants data, family, data. So you should get paid for your data. And Jasmine Coin is here to tell us how to get paid for our data. So let's rock with it, family. What else I got for us? Now, family, I just want to make this simply stupid, okay? Now, here's the vision on how they say they're going to do it, okay, about the vision of Jasmine Coin. The Jasmine Coin aims to grow a sustainable focus on the following 2 points, okay? Maximizing the value of personal data, shaping the market in medium and long term through a market entry by institutional investors. I'm going to explain that deeply so we understand what that means, okay? So the Jasmine Coin is a value indicator of personal data Jasmine platform, a scale of business that expands. So those values of the users owned data, okay, and the value of the Jasmine Coin will also increase. So the more Jasmine do business expands, the value of your data would increase. Okay, and I'm going to explain what that means when we talk about your Fedbook, your Facebook, and how much they charge. Okay, now remember, I'm going to go into Jasmine Coin wants $500 per person. Okay, now, and as that increase, guess what? The token will increase as well. Why? Because Jasmine Coin is a proof of stake. Proof of stake means that there won't be no more tokens ever made after a 50 billion supply. So the more you use it, the more it gets more valuable. It gets more extinct. So their mission is to maximize the value of data. 2 things working for you right there. The more per data per person goes up, and the more you utilize the Jasmine Coin, the value of the token goes up, family. So it's a win-win situation. So they're going to be shaping the market in medium long term through a market entry by institutional investors. We will expand the scale of business based on actual demand, okay? They're going to make it a demand for the Jasmine Coin. Therefore, we set up a KPI as our growth targets. They're showing receipts. Now, this is what they're saying now. We communicate with the institutional investors about planning a process of the KYPS, the Jasmine Coin value to be proven by institutional investors through a determination of investment grade, and the value of Jasmine Coin will be shared by investors around the world. That's us. That's us, family. We are investors around the world. We will be shared with that wealth, with the investment grade, with the institutional. We right there with them just by owning the coin. We're just more important as the whales or these companies, these corporations that come in. We just more important as them by holding this token. That's why they only let like 77% out of I think 15% out of 7 million that we're able to buy as a regular retail investor, family, give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a pat on the back. Let's rock. Now, what we're rocking with, we got to understand this, okay? Now they spoke about they want to achieve the KPI in the following 3 indicators, okay? Now, the active amount of data lockers, okay? Right now, they got about 7 million active users right in Japan itself, okay? Now, they want to get another 100 million overseas. That includes American market and all the other borders they cross from Japan, okay? That's 107 million that they got. Now, they want to get a value of $500, okay, that they want to accumulate per person. Value per person. $500 per person. Jasmycoin ain't playing, boy. They want a premium price for your data, family. They want you to get a premium price, you know what I'm saying, for your data because they know how much it's going to be worth in the metaverse. Family, let me go to show you who all sells your information, okay? Let's see who all sells your information. Let's see what companies sell your information. Family, look at these scumbags. What companies sell your data? The DMV is not the only entity that's selling your personal information. There are 17 other companies that might also give your information away for the right price. Oh, my goodness. Advanced credit. Backgroundcheck.com. They'll sell you out, family. Been verified. They'll sell you out. Equifax. They'll sell you out. Experian. They'll sell you out. Even your healthcare.com would sell your information out, family. That's why we need Jasmycoin. If our information is gonna be taken, why don't we get paid for it and get paid a premium price, family? Let's go back to it again, man. Let's go back to it again. Okay? They want us to they want to get a value. They want top dollar. They want $500 per person of their data, of their digital data, their DNA, your digital information, family. They want your data, family, and it's worth a lot of money. That's why we're gonna get paid with this coin called Jasmycoin, family. It's called the Jasmycoin. We're gonna get paid. So let's go to Facebook. They got. Let me read this about Facebook real quick, family. I'm gonna end this thing. I'm gonna end it real quick. Now, the value of data per capital is $500. Okay, calculated as a discounted present price based on the future CF and ongoing value of a total data held by active users. The standard is additional 0.5% per data. Okay, now here's what it is. Now I'm gonna show you what Facebook does. Okay, now the data handled by centralized user data monopoly models and are mainly considered to be big data. For example, your Fed book, aka Facebook, Fed book is estimated to be aka metaverse or meta world, whatever you want to call it, is estimated to be generating about $25 per person per year in advertisement revenue. Remember, Jasmine wants 500. They want 5 blue faces. Okay, now the user contributes to data generation. The Jasmine platform is a small data, high accuracy, because it generates from the Internet of Things devices, which I will talk about in another podcast. I want to talk strictly data this time, and update in a timely manner to continuously the past to enable to obtain information on other computers and etc. It has been difficult to attain in the past by binding the highly accurate small data with big data. We believe that is even higher added value could be generated. So they saying $500 can be peanuts. It may be a chance that it can go higher than 500. They're just throwing a number out there, family. And that's what I want to speak on that, family. Your data is important. Your data is important. We should get paid for it just by investing into this Jasmycoin. We get a chance to capitalize on it. One, by being invested into the token, okay, and it being a proof of stake. The more you use the token, okay, the higher the value of the price. And guess what? The more they charge for data, your data, the higher the value of the price of the token as a holder, family. Is win-win. And we're not even talking about the Internet of Things. We're not even talking about the AI. We're not even talking about the secure PCs, the security of it, family. We're just talking about in the data alone, family. So let's go over the price action with your boy Red Dad, Blue Dad. Family, your Jasmine Coin is currently trading at a life-changing 21 cent. for some who got in a little bit earlier than that. Give yourself a pat on the back for being invested into one of the greatest digital currency assets. That was the first digital assets to be regulated in Japan, first of all, and one of the first ones to be kind of, there's a lot of Japan coins that's in the market, but on Coinbase from this type of magnitude, definitely from Japan, other than it being Tether or Shiba Inu or a lot of other tokens that's Japan-based, family. Bitcoin, Japan-based. All these coins are really Japan-based, but the first one that really get recognition as a Japan-based token is regulated is the Jasmine Coin or the Jasmine Coin, family. So let's be smart about this, family. Let's have eyes to see and let's have ears to listen, family. So 4 months ago, if you would have got into this token, you would be over 2,200%. 2,200% excess on your money 4 months ago, family. And trust me, believe me to you, that is still peanuts compared to another 6 months and to a year from today with Jasmine Coin. Mark my words, we'll be 10,000+% on this token, family. It's not financial advice and it's not price prediction. It's just information itself because it hasn't even hit Binance, one of the largest crypto exchanges around the world. May not be in America, but it's big. It haven't hit crypto.com and a few other major platforms yet, family. Every time one of these Jasmine Coin gets information, it shows a support level. That's support. More people see it. More people watch this video. When you share it, when you like it, more people see it. They understand Jasmine just a little bit more. When these platforms, when this Jasmine Coin get listed on more than one Binance, crypto.com, more people see it. More people get chance to invest into it. All this goes into your price as an early investor, your percentage. When you got in at this price, it's going to cost them to get in at an even higher price. That's how you create a support level, family, by information, okay? Not news, not your television news, not your Channel 6 or Channel 10. You run. You sell that. But when you get real information, when this platform is living up to its roadmap, living up to its white paper, that is support information. When it says it's going to list its PCs, that's support information. More people buy it, more people believe in it, then it's more stable support, family. Now it creates a higher low. So whenever it get listed, they've been talking about getting in bed with Binance. When that happens, you're going to have a new support level, family. That's just the way it works. That's just the way it is. Your boy Red Dad, Blue Dad is going to keep it simply stupid for you, family. I'm going to make sure you understand, overstand, okay, so you can understand, family. This has been your boy Red Dad, Blue Dad update on Jasmine Coin, data, democracy. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. And, family, if you want to finish out this video that I'm going to play, you know what I'm saying, it's going to tell you about data democracy. It's a must watch. If not, hit that like button and share your boy out. Until next time, this has been your boy Red Dad, Blue Dad. Peace.
You would assume, and I did before I started doing these kind of jobs, that if you have a certain type of cancer, there's a standard recipe that it works best for you, that the doctors who went to medical school, that's kind of why they went to medical school. But those recipes change all the time. And they are, if you're trying to work out how many patients survive with this type of treatment in our hospital, how does that compare to all the other hospitals globally? This is something that integrating data, everyone wants a cure for cancer, everyone wants the best treatments. But right now it's very difficult for the doctors to determine which is the best treatment.
If environment is experiencing pressure, we know there's pressures through population growth, through climate change, etc. It's really important for you, for me, to actually be able to monitor some of that at my local level. I want to know what's happening to my coast. I want to understand what's going on in my bay. How is the runoff from the catchment affecting the water? I want to understand that a bit. If I understand it, understanding leads to action.
I think in the past, data was generated by government, map data, for example, or in the past, journalists or news was generated by journalists. Now we have everybody blogging, everyone's a photographer, everyone's producing maps. They can contribute to very large-scale mapping efforts through OpenStreetMap. They can contribute to knowledge bases through Wikipedia and those kinds of things. And that's really democratized the production of information.
I think there's no question about the fact that data, in research, at just about every single level is critical to the future of how we live, where we live, and how long we live.
We're in a position where, for example, to make a decision about land use, to make a decision about environmental conservation and preservation, to make a decision about schools or hospitals, or any of those things that are in the public good and in the public domain, we need to have the best data sets we possibly can.
Data is only useful if it's accessible. And you need to ask what audience you are addressing and in what form that data will be producing information that can be presented to that audience.
There's a need increasingly for these very large, complex systems to start thinking about the social, institutional and economic aspects of data and how data flows in the ecosystem and how people are incentivized and disincentivized to share data, what their attitudes to sharing data are, what some of the barriers to enabling data sharing are. I think one of the problems we face in Australia, one of the challenges is really around how do we effectively aggregate data from the states and territories to produce national data sets, because every state and territory collects data in a different way.
And again, ironically, part of the problem of medical data being collected is that sometimes it's very difficult to actually bring it in one place. There are all these little domains and different ways of putting data together where they could be very useful if everybody agreed on the same format, and it would save lives.
So if you think about the road network, the way that you characterize roads, the individual mapping processes, whether you call it a dual carriageway or a two-lane road, pretty much everything about how we collect the data is done in a different way, and there's a cost imposed on national agencies to try and put that data together. And we see that pattern in every single domain. So in geosciences and environmental sciences, in health, in education, those similar kinds of challenges exist. So pulling together national data sets becomes quite expensive, and there's a critical role for standards in that process to agree on how we can share data, what we call a particular phenomena.
Not just about access to the data, having the accepted standards for how to access data securely. And that's really one of the issues right now. So there's one thing having a service I can talk to, which will allow me access to your data. And so we have many flavors of doing that. But there's another, which is how do I securely connect to that service where not everyone in the whole world can access it now. So we do a lot of work in that space. And that's, if the data landscape, the open data landscape is a patchwork quilt, the secure access to data is a string vest, I guess you could say. It's much more fragmented about how to do this, and it means different things to different organizations.
The other side of things is that not all data should be free. There is some data that needs to be kept private. We all understand a sense of privacy, and certainly as time has gone by and as the governments of the world have become more interested in personal data and what it can tell them, I think the citizens of the world should be rightly concerned about how that data is being interpreted.
But where do you draw the lines of what can we do with this data? So this is it's a very highly evolving space where there's lots of data being produced all around us, and there's people like myself who know how to build software to bring it together, to tell stories, but there's no cohesive governance across most of this. It's a little bit ad hoc, I'd say, certainly in the social media space.
Certainly in government, there, we can talk about the role of data in democratic process. So improving transparency and accountability in government, that's the big drive in open government and open data. And then there's also this concept of democratization of data, which is citizen science and the ability to generate new insights from these digital smoke signals, the signals that people leave behind on their interactions with service providers, government service providers and private sector on the web.
And a data democracy then is this sort of ideal that we'd like to get to, where we've all got timely and equitable access to the data. Doesn't mean the data's free, doesn't mean the data's open, because you might choose to share your data subject to some rules.
If you can have more information about what's happening in your area, in the things that matter to you, you can be much more involved in the decision making around the next thing.
The overall outcome we're after is open science and openly available data.
Many reasons to integrate data. It's not all just because someone can make money from it or governments should be more transparent.
But a critical part of the solution is actually understanding how to properly incentivize people to encourage them towards pro-sharing behavior. What are the things that we really need to do?
We got to bring that energy.